What's up everybody, welcome back. So we're going to get into some more Great League battles, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing a set of battles featuring Gust Pidgeot in the Great League. Now Gust is obviously the new exclusive move which was obtainable by evolving a Pidgeotto into a Pidgeot during the Go Battle Night a couple of days ago, and honestly it's made Pidgeot so much better in the Great League meta. It's a very hard hitting quick move and does so much damage across the board, and for this team comp I'm going to be running it alongside Registeel and Shadow Swampert, and that's mainly because to provide protection against Pidgeot's weaknesses, which is mainly going to be rock, ice and electric, and you have Registeel and Swampert which can pretty much cover for most of that, right? And overall this team actually ended up working really well for me. I managed to go 5-0 in this set, which I was kind of surprised by, but there were some exciting battles in here, and let's just get straight into it. Okay, moving on to the first battle here. I'm going to be leading with Pidgeot, with Registeel and Shadow Swampert in the back. And also I'm going to be running Aerial Ace along with Brave Bird as my charge moves on Pidgeot. So we have Pidgeot into a Toxicroak, very favorable matchup because as you can see Gust is going to do so much damage here. They make a switch into Azumarill and I'm going to go into Registeel, mainly to avoid that matchup against Toxicroak. Obviously both Pidgeot and Swampert have great matchups against Toxicroak, so I'm not going to shield this. This is probably going to be a Hydro Pump, but it's fine. I'm going to let this go through because we can get to 2 Flash Cannons before they can get to their next Hydro Pump. Flash Cannon is obviously going to hit for neutral because of the Fairy and Water typing on Azumarill. So yeah, they do let the first one go through. We should be able to get to the next one before they can get to another Hydro Pump, and this is going to put the Azumarill pretty low. Let's see if they want to shield this. Ideally, I would want to maintain switch advantage to make sure that I can align my Pidgeot against their Toxicroak. But anyways, they are getting off a charge move right now, so I'm going to shield this up because I want to get off this Flash Cannon to see if they want to give up their final shield. They go for the Play Rough, which is absolutely fine. So I'm going for the Flash Cannon here. This is probably going to take out Azu if it goes unshielded. They actually shield that up, which is absolutely fine. They probably want to maintain switch advantage as well, which is understandable. So they're going to farm us down. So this is not ideal. So I'm going to come in with Pidgeot and go for the Aerial Ace as soon as possible. But they make a switch into their Toxicroak for some reason. This is fantastic, right? Because this is almost going to one-shot it, and another Gust should pretty much take it out here. And this is a very good situation to be in. And they come in with their Crustle. I'm going to switch into my Swampert, and they are switch locked in this matchup because they just switched from their Azu into their Toxicroak. So this is very favorable for us. I'm not going to shield this because I'm more worried about the charge move coming from the Azumarill. It's just an X-Scissor here. So I'm going to build up to 2 Hydro Cannons and then go for the first one because I want to have that slight energy advantage so that I can get off a Sludge Wave on the Azumarill. Hydro Cannon is obviously going to take out the Crustle, and then right now I was trying to go for the Sludge Wave, but I didn't remember how much health Azu had, but it looks like Hydro Cannon should pretty much take it out from this range, right? So even though it's resisted, the health on it is very low that even this is going to be enough to take it out there. So as you can see, Pidgeot really putting in work. I mean, especially if you can line it up against fighter leads, it's really good, right? Because Gust, it just takes about like 3 or 4, probably 4 or 5 quick moves to get rid of Toxicroak, because obviously Toxicroak is pretty glassy as well. But anyways, it just ended up working for us. So moving into the second battle here, we have Pidgeot into an Alolan Marowak. It's another fantastic lead. Again, Pidgeot has a lot of fantastic matchups in the Great League meta. It can handle grass types, fighters, bug types, and also ghost types like Alolan Marowak, right? Because both of Alolan Marowak's charge moves are resisted because of the flying and normal typing. And I'm just going to build up a little extra energy and go for the Aerial Ace here, and it does get the shield, which is absolutely fine. And I don't have to shield anything in this matchup, like I said, unless they're running Fire Blast, which most Alolan Marowaks are not. So Bone Club again is double resisted because of the flying typing, and yeah, another charge move coming through. Doesn't really matter what this is. It is a Shadow Ball, which is again double resisted because of the normal typing. And at this point, I can just go for the Aerial Ace, and this is probably going to come close to taking out the Alolan Marowak from this range. And yeah, it's going to put it pretty low, but one quick move should take it out here. And this is fantastic, right? Because at this point, we win switch advantage and shield advantage, which is fantastic. And they come in with Ferrothorn, and this is GG's because we have a Registeel in the back, which pretty much walls the Ferrothorn. I mean, obviously, you do have to watch out for Thunder, but even Thunder doesn't really do too much damage, right? But they make a switch into their Shiftry, and this is fine. I'm going to stay in with Registeel. So this is basically Caleb Peng's new double grass line, which has Alolan Marowak on the lead, along with Shiftry and Ferrothorn in the back. And this is fine, right? Because Registeel with Focus Blast can pretty much one-shot both Shiftry and Ferrothorn. So I'm not going to shield the first one. It is a foul play. Going to let this go through. I'm trying to get to a Focus Blast here. And definitely going to shield this up because I want to preserve the health on my Registeel because I don't want my Swampert going up against any of these grass types. And yeah, Focus Blast is pretty much going to one-shot it because it's super effective because of the dark typing. And also Shiftry is just extremely glassy. So yeah, just takes it out there. And this is GG's at this point because all we have to do is to get to a Focus Blast. I do have to watch out for Thunder, but even Thunder isn't going to take us out from this range. But I'm going to shield this up just in case it's a Thunder, but they bait with Power Whip. But it's absolutely fine. I'm going to try and get to another Focus Blast here, but Yeah, this is probably just going to be a power whip because it was too soon to be thunder. It is just a power whip, which is absolutely fine. And now I can just go for the focus blast. And this is again super effective because of the steel typing and should just one-shot the Ferrothorn there. So again, Registeel is really putting in work. There's a lot of talk about Registeel, sort of going away as far as the Great League meta is concerned, especially after the nerfs to Flash Cannon and Focus Blast. And honestly, it really hasn't made too much of a difference. Registeel is just still as OP as it's always been. And it just works so well in this particular team comp. So we have Pidgeot into an Azumarill. So this is again not a great matchup because obviously Azumarill can get to an Ice Beam before we can get to a Charge Move. So I'm going to try and catch the Ice Beam onto my Registeel here, but unfortunately we're not able to get it in time. Or they don't throw the Charge Move right. This is probably going to be a Hydro Pump, which I'm going to let this go through, which is absolutely fine. And now they make a switch it into their Galarian Stunfisk, and I'm going straight for the Focus Blast here. This is super effective because of the steel typing, and it's a good thing we didn't shield the Hydro Pump because they're basically going to have to get off an Earthquake anyways to get rid of us because Rock Slide isn't going to cut it from this range. And they're going to throw a Charge Move right now. Absolutely fine. I'm going to let this go through because I can come in with Swampert. But they bait with Rock Slide, which is fantastic. We should be able to get to a Focus Blast. But yeah, it was smart of them to throw the Charge Move because we could have gotten to a Focus Blast there. I'm going to let this go through. It's absolutely fine because I can just come in with Swampert and then get off this Hydro Cannon as quickly as possible. So Hydro Cannon is obviously super effective because of the ground typing and should pretty much one-shot it from this range. Almost takes it out. One mud shot should do it. And let's see what they have in the back. They have an Abomasnow in the back. So this is not a great situation to be in because, again, both Swampert and Pidgeot don't have great matchups against it. So I'm definitely going to shield this up. And my win condition is to make sure that I can build up to a little past Sludge Wave and then bait with Hydro Cannon. Obviously, I do have to watch out for the Azumarill in the back as well. So I need to basically land 2 Sludge Waves to win this matchup. Again, they shield the Hydro Cannon, which is fantastic. And now what I'm going to do is I'm obviously going to shield this. And I'm expecting them to probably switch anytime right now. So I'm actually going to switch into my Pidgeot and trying to get off a Charge Move, but we make a simultaneous switch, right? So I'm going straight for the Brave Bird here. Now this is going to do massive neutral damage to the Azumarill and should do about 50 to 60% of Azumarill's health, which it does there. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop attacking, right? Because I don't want the Abomasnow to come back and farm my Pidgeot and then get off a Charge Move on my Swampert because we have a Sludge Wave ready to go. So Pidgeot is going to go down. So now I'm going to Mud Shot farm this Azumarill down and we have a Sludge Wave ready to go. And this is going to one-shot the Abomasnow because it's super effective because of the grass typing and should pretty much take the win there. So again, if I sort of let the Azumarill go down, then Abomasnow would have obviously come back and farm my Pidgeot. And I think Abomasnow wins CMP against Swampert. So they could have gotten off a Weather Ball or an Energy Ball there and we probably would have lost that. But anyways, you can see just Brave Bird does about 60% of Azumarill's health, which is pretty crazy, right? So Pidgeot is definitely putting in work as far as this team comp is concerned. Moving in, we are 3-0, so let's go into the 4th battle. We have Pidgeot into a Drifblim, another amazing lead here because Hex is double resisted, Shadow Ball is double resisted as well. And as you can see, Gust is really adding up. Obviously, do have to watch out for Icy Wind in this matchup, but we can definitely survive one of these. And because their quick moves doing very minimal damage, they're going to basically need 2 charge moves to get rid of Pidgeot. So I'm going to overfarm a little bit and throw the Aerial Ace to hopefully get a shield out of them. Let's see if they want to shield this up. And they do shield that up, which is absolutely fine. And yeah, at this point, I'm probably going to shield as well because I want to maintain switch advantage. Ideally, you want to maintain switch advantage in this team comp because in case they have a grass type in the back, you want to make sure that your Registeel is going up against it and not your Swampert. And yeah, I'm just going for the next Aerial Ace. Let's see if they want to give up their second shield here. They do shield that up, which is absolutely fine. And at this point, yeah, I'm probably going to shield as well and then try and completely fast move farm this thing down, which actually ended up being a mistake, as you'll see right now. So I'm going to try and fast move farm this thing down, but unfortunately, they're able to get to a charge move first. I didn't expect them to get it off this quick. So this Icy Wind is going to take out the Pidgeot, but it's not too bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with Registeel and completely lock on farm this Drifblim down. Now lock on is double resisted because of the ghost typing, which means that we should be able to get 100 energy while coming out of this matchup. So luckily they just go for the Icy Wind, which is really interesting. Now we can farm for more energy, right? Because our attack has been lowered. And now we have over 100 energy right now. They come in with their Scrafty. I'm going straight for the Focus Blast here. This is super effective because of the dark typing. And even though it's been debuffed, it's still going to do a lot of damage. And now I'm going to switch into my Swampert and hope that whatever is in the back is weak to Swampert. They have a Ferrothorn in the back. So this is not a great situation to be in. So I'm going to try and spam as many Hydro Cannons as possible here. And hopefully I can get off another Hydro Cannon before they can get off their charge move. So I'm going to get off the second Hydro Cannon. This is going to put the Ferrothorn into the red and put it into lock on farm down range. And Luckily, it also ends up being a CMP type, which is really good because now they're going to throw their charge move, which is really good for us. So my only win condition right now is to come in with Registeel and completely lock on, farm this Ferrothorn down so that I can get off a Focus Blast onto this Crafty, right? So charge move coming through. If it's a Thunder, it's going to do quite a bit of damage and put us pretty low here. It is a Thunder, so this is not a great situation to be in, but I'm going to have to risk it and completely lock on, farm this thing down. And luckily, we're able to do it just in time. They're probably very close to a Power Whip there, and we have a Focus Blast ready to go. And this is super effective and should pretty much one-shot this Crafty from this range. So that was basically my only win condition. Luckily, Registeel was able to sort of pull it through. I mean, they were probably just one Bullet Seed away from a Power Whip, and that probably would have taken out my Registeel. But then again, Registeel is just so OP, isn't it? Like, I think being able to farm that energy on Drifblim in spite of losing the lead kind of ended up working out in our favor. But I really would want to win lead in most situations. So 4-0 right now. So let's move into the final battle. We have Pidgeot into a Drifblim. Again, very favorable matchup. So I'm going to make sure that I play this correctly. I want to make sure I win the lead this time. And I'm going to try and get off this Aerial Ace as soon as possible before getting debuffed. Unfortunately, I think it ends up being a CMP tie there. So I'm not going to shield the first one, same game plan. Actually, they go for the Shadow Ball, which is very interesting. And again, this is the thing about Pidgeot and a lot of the other flyers is a lot of people don't know about the normal subtyping on a lot of these flyers like Pidgeot, Swallow, Staraptor, etc., which is really good, right? So because they went for the Shadow Ball, I was able to sort of fast move farm this thing down, which is really good because now we have a significant health advantage as well. They come in with their Galarian Stunfisk. I'm going straight for the Brave Bird right now. Even though it's resisted, it's going to do about 30% of Stunfisk's health, which is really good. And they're basically going to have to get off a charge move anyway because Mud Shot is double resisted. It is a Rock Slide, which is going to take us out, but it's fine. We have switch advantage and I can make sure that I can come in with my Swampert. And I'm expecting them to switch to catch the charge move. They make a switch into their Azumarill. So I'm going to build up to a Sludge Wave and then switch into my Registeel here. And then this is pretty straightforward at this point because, again, Registeel has a pretty neutral matchup against Azumarill. And I'm not going to shield anything. This is probably going to be a Hydro Pump. I'm going to let this go through because we should be able to get off 2 Flash Cannons before they can get to another Hydro Pump. And I'm just going to save both shields to Swampert to basically sweep towards endgame. And this is one of the other reasons why you would want to run Registeel instead of Galarian Stunfisk in this team comp is basically especially in that matchups against Azu and Grass types, Registeel obviously does much better than Galarian Stunfisk, which is exactly why I think it works better as far as this team comp is concerned, right? So anyways, another charge move coming through. Doesn't matter even if it's a Hydro Pump, I'm going to let this go through. But it's just a play rough. But it's not great because now they can farm us down for quite a bit of energy. So I'm going to come in with Swampert and go straight for the Sludge Wave here. And this is, again, super effective because of the Fairy typing. And should take it out if it goes unshielded. There's no point baiting because they still had only one shield. And this is GG's at this point because, yeah, we have a shield advantage and health, some significant health advantage as well. And they're probably going to bait with Rock Slide, but I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to shield it up because it's going to basically, yeah, they're not going to get off. They're going to basically need to bait with Rock Slide and then get off an Earthquake, but we should be able to get to 2 Hydro Cannons before they can do that, right? So again, I'm going to build up to 2 Hydro Cannons and then go back to back here. The first one should get the shield from the Stunfisk, as it does there, and we should be able to get to the next Hydro Cannon before they can get off an Earthquake there. So again, Swampert with energy advantage can be absolutely destructive, especially towards endgame. It's arguably one of the best closers across all leagues. It's just so reliable, especially if you can save shields for it. It can sweep most team comps, right? And even grass types, it can pretty much one-shot most grass types because of Sludge Wave. And as you can see, we managed to go 5-0 in this set. I didn't expect to go 5-0 with Pidgeot. I thought it would be pretty difficult to use, but ended up working so much better for me. So yeah, I mean, this is a team that I would highly recommend trying it out if you want to, but yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun to use, right? But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.